Well, I've been speaking to Pablo Fonsillas. He's a marketing lecturer at the IESE Business School in Spain. He's an expert on the retail sector in Spain and in the UK. And I asked him why independents seem to do so much better in Spain than here.
I'd like to say that it's a historical or economical reason, because in Spain, years ago, during the 50s or the 60s or even during the 40s, it was quite common to create your own business as self-employment, and our economy was not very open and liberalized as it was in the UK, because during the 50s, the 60s and the 70s, the UK actually grew up, developed their economy or its economy quite strongly, and in Spain that was not the case. Additionally, the retailers in Spain during the 50s and the 60s used to buy the real estate in which they used to operate. If you put both things together, the historical/economical reason together with the real estate one, there is where you see that nowadays we still have quite an independent number of retailers operating our streets.
So how far is Spain, do you think, heading the same way as Britain, where shopping is concerned?
I think that there has been a big decrease in terms of the market share for independent retailers against the big players. So I can actually share with you, for the last 15 years, the market share, for instance, in the fashion industry has decreased 25 points for independent retailers against the big players like Inditex, H&M or Primark. They have expanded heavily, and in the year 2001 they were basically 19% of the total sales, and nowadays they represent around 43%. So you see that in the last 15 years the market share for the big players has more than doubled.
When you say that the big chains are making inroads into the high street in Spain, are those small family companies who own the real estate, are they selling to the chains?
Yes. What has happened is that for many, many years, independent retailers have been operating for their own business. But they've seen that at a certain point it was more profitable to sell the real estate to any other player than to be exploiting that real estate for their own business. Nowadays, many of the best locations, if not most of them, are actually being operated by the big players. And this is because the owners of those real estates were more interested in selling the real estate than continuing operating or exploiting that particular space for their own business purpose.
Here in the UK, the story of the high street is how to help independent companies to thrive at a time when everyone is having to readjust to the fact that the internet has changed things. What would you say would be the best way for the UK to preserve its high street?
I think that there is a big future, a bright future for people operating the offline world together with the online world. Nowadays, you as a player in terms of sales need to adapt to the customer, which means that you need to have and offer as many channels as possible. Probably there's going to be big growth for the e-commerce world, but I believe that the future will be to join forces in between the online and the offline world.
Pablo Fonsillas speaking to me from Barcelona.